Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa lahat ng nakikinig po.
Hello to all our viewers from here and around the world.
Napakaganda na ating talinteman ngayong hapon ito.
Isang mainit na pagbati po sa inyong lahat.
Well, friends,
welcome to the Bridges Show.
I'm very happy to be here, and I think it should be a really interesting and fun topic.
What are the things you want to learn? So I wanna take it from there and then I listen to them.
Meron sila mga mitiin upang maging makabuluhan pa ang pagiging Katoliko. Lalong-lalo na sa susunod na henerasyon.
Sa akin po, sa mga kabataan, use competence as a basis.
In real life, hindi naman talaga tayo tumitigil sa buhay. Kailangan talaga tuloy lang ang buhay kahit anong challenges natin.
Palawan, Cebu, Baguio City, Atty. Dwight, pati La Union. So we are saying that revenge travel is real.
Mas kailangan natin na i-share ang hiwaga ng sinin sa mga tao.
Food and health should go hand in hand. So yan ang gusto namin paratingin sa gobyerno.
If you will just devote your life teaching, hindi ka yayaman sa pera, pero yayaman ka sa tao.
Siyempre, ang pinakamaganda po naman sa ating universidad ay yung talagang natuturuan po tayo kung paano maging mabuting tao.
Happy anniversary to Bridges! Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
Architects have long been at the forefront of creating buildings and structures that use resources wisely to create functional and aesthetically pleasing spaces while minimizing the negative impacts on the environment. Nowadays, they are the critical enablers of strategic conversations and engagements to identify the most significant challenges and to gain consensus on the designs that will benefit the inhabitants, the general public, and the natural environment. In this week's episode of Bridges, let's discuss the importance of relationship-based initiatives and responsive designs and why architects are refocusing their work towards nature and long-term sustainability. Usapang bahay, usapang innovations, usapang environment, naku halo-halo po. So bago po ang lahat, this is Telma Maranya welcoming you once again to another exciting, learning, and inspiring episode of Bridges. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Binabati ko rin po ang lahat ng ating alumni, saan man po kayo naroroon ngayon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. With me this afternoon, kaya po talaga tayo palaging nag-yes, is of course the President of the UST Alumni Association, Atty. Dwight Ramos. Magandang hapon, Atty. Dwight.
Hi, magandang hapon din, Ma'am Telma. And of course, magandang hapon sa lahat ng ating mga viewers for today. And magkasama na ulit tayo dito sa Bridges Show. And it's a very, very good opportunity. And of course, Bridges is our University of Santo Tomas Alumni Association virtual talk show that showcases our notable Tomasian alumni to share their expertise and experiences on various topics for everyone's lifelong learning. Today's episode is brought to you by ARCI, the Alumni Association of our graduates from the College of Architecture, and of course, the UST Alumni Association, Inc.
Yes, before we continue, may I ask the audience to please remember to like, share our show, and subscribe to our UST Tomasian Alumni Community YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page. Ito po ay isang malaking pagsuporta sa ating programa. Maraming salamat po. So, hindi na po natin patatagalin at kakausapin na po natin ang ating panauhin ngayon. So, Attorney Dwight, napaka-interesting po ng ating topic ngayong araw. Matutunghayan natin kung papaano ang arkitektura ay nagbibigay pansin at halaga sa ating kalikasan. But first, may I introduce to you our guest? Introduce ko na po siya, Attorney Dwight. Excited na rin ako. Our guest is architect Maria Cynthia Funk. She is a Manila-born architect, educator, and community builder. She received her degree in Bachelor of Science in Architecture from the University of Santo Tomas in 1984. Then in 2015, she took her Master in Advanced Architecture at the Institute of Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, Spain. In 2014 to 2020, she was the Associate Dean of the Environment Studies Cluster of School of Design and Arts at De La Salle College of St. Benilde, Manila. During the pandemic, so tayo, no, ito parang busy-busy din siya kahit pandemic, no? She organized Studio Nexus, a research studio of inquiry and speculation, and then established later the Architecture Collective to explore methodologies in architecture education. She has served the United Architects of the Philippines as the executive director for the Commission on Education. She is a member of the International Commission of Dialogi in Arquitectura. Architect Choi was the co-curator of the official entry of the Philippines in the 18th International Architecture Bienal de Venecia in Spain, November 2023, with artist Miss Sam Domingo, entitled Tripa de Galicia, Guts of Estuary. In August 2023, she went on a 10-day bamboo boot camp. Ayan, kakaiba po ito in Mindanao, followed by an experience design workshop in Manila, care of Chaos Pilot or Chaos Pilot, Denmark, in September 2023. Then, in November 2023, she underwent a course in Ramp Earth. All these learnings proved to be radical in her dynamic and innovative practice of architecture. Hay nako. Dear viewers, nako, napakaswerte po natin. Let us welcome our award-winning and very dynamic and innovative architect Maria Cynthia Funk. Good afternoon, Architect Choi. Welcome to Bridges.
Yes, welcome, Architect Funk.
Yes, good afternoon to both of you. And then, as you have said, we have with us the alumni of UST. And of course, special mention, of course, ang alumni ng Architecture, College of Architecture. And I'm very honored to be here in Bridges. Thank you so much.
Yes. And we are truly blessed to have you here with us today. And so glad to have you with us this afternoon to share with us your vast experience in a different kind of or focus of architecture. Kakaiba ito. Pero bago po ang lahat, I would like to ask our guest, how do you prefer to be called po, Architect Funk?
Choi.
Choi. Architect Choi. Yes. And
Choi daw po kilala si architect nung siya po ay nasa college.
Yes, Choi.
Choi. Ilagan.
And you graduated in 1984 in terms of the architectural structure of UST. If you've seen it lately, how does it compare now po since you were a student? Anong pagkakaiba kaya ang nakita niya?
Malaki. Una sa lahat, yung college inilipat na sa kabila. Di ba? Dun sa kasama namin yung engineering. Tapos ngayon, nandun na sa kabila. Tapos hiwalay na siya sa College of Fine Arts. Pero in terms of also how architecture is taught, alam mo, architecture kasi responds to the current reality. And so, kung paano nagbago yung mundo, ganun din sana yung architecture nagbago, no? So, marami. Pero nakikita ko, yung mga bata sa architecture ngayon, they're into a lot of things. And it's great, no? Kasi it helps also their design process and the ability to respond to the world around them. So there.
Architecture, naalala ko, nung college ka, I'm sure, magkasama po ang architecture and fine arts, di ba? And
Yes.
design.
Yes.
Kasi it used to
Yes.
be CFAD. And favorite ko yung uniform nyo, yung brown.
Yes.
Tama po, yung brown po na stripes. Attorney Dwight, naalala mo yun? Stripes na brown and lighter brown, dark brown and lighter brown. Sobrang cool nung ano nyo, yung uniform
Tapos,
nyo.
iba-iba pa rin, di ba? Yung mga pirme.
Siyempre, artist eh. May mga kanya-kanyang interpretation pa rin ng uniform. Talaga naman. Architecture, ano yung favorite mo sa mga architectural structure dito sa UST, sa nare-recall mo? Ano yung favorite mo? Unforgettable sa'yo?
Hands down, yung nasa likod mo. Yan. Yung main building
Main
talaga.
building.
Oo, iba siya. I mean, it's timeless. It's old, it's new, it's of all time, parang ganyan. So I really love it. Merong nostalgia, no, every time we get to look at it, ganyan. Dinala namin yan kahit saan kami mapunta. We serve also other schools, ganyan, pero iba talaga yung ating main building. Siya talaga yung tatak na tatak, di ba, na UST.
And so kaya naman recently inaugurated yung UST Gensan. Talagang may replica. The big brother of our main building nandun na rin sa Gensan. And talking about yung uniform, no? Sabi mo, Ma'am Telma, hindi ko kasi napansin yung uniform. Mas napansin ko yung mga nagsusuot. Alam mo, pagka sinabing architecture, nandyan yung magaganda, no?
Totoo.
Diba?
Tama.
Well known yan, well known sa atin sa UST. And but that being said, no, architecture is not really a choice for us, no? Lalo na siguro alam natin mahirap yata yan. Lalo na yung mga tulad ko mahina sa math. But architecture, what made you or what influenced or inspired you to go into the architecture course?
Actually, alam nyo, taga-probinsya ako nung high school. Taga Binyan, Laguna ako. But I have a group mate who I love very much, si Beth. Yung sister niya nag-aral sa architecture, and then she would go to Manila Sunday, ganyan, kaya Saturday, tapos naghahanda siya. Isang beses nakita ko siya, tapos gustong-gusto ko, very smart. Tapos kinuwento niya that she is learning architecture, which is about designing spaces and structures. At that time, it's really about buildings, no? Ngayon nga natututo na ako that it's also making sense of the world around us. And because of what I saw in her, I really felt like I wanted to do the same. As mahilig din ako mag-draw, ganyan, mahilig akong pinturahan yung mga dingding ng bahay, naluloka yung mga anak ko, ganyan. Pero bandang huli, nakita ko that, yun nga, when I entered finally, wala akong ibang applyan ha, UST lang.
Wow!
Tsaka Archie lang. So talagang parang sobrang
sigurado na.
Oo, ganyan. Dapat, parang do or die. Pag bumagsak, wala na ako ibang Pero awa ng Diyos, nakapasa ako. And I really felt that this is the course for me. I was so inspired to see everything. I mean, even UST as a campus is so beautiful, and I really was inspired to keep going. There you go.
Yeah, and your concept of architecture, you said nga kanina, evolving. It has evolved in what you do now called the community architecture. Diba? It's something. Can you tell us more about it, and what also inspired you to go into this direction?
Oo, kasi I think architecture has to respond. While the UST has really been my alma mater, no? I really felt that she's the soul of my soul, ganyan. And nakita ko yung direction ng mga nag-graduate from the UST. Talagang iba talaga sila. Pero even as a young girl lang, I have been working now with the poor. With my friends, we put up a social center for the poor dito sa may Pasay area. And I really wanted to help. So at one point, tung third year ako, ang projects namin noon, basta may particular project kami, and I found it so opulent. And I had to go out of the space we were in. I felt nauseous. And then my friend asked me, "What's happening to you?" Sabi ko, "Ayoko na ata." Kasi at the end of the day, I would be working in that social center and I would see the poverty of my people. And then I'm here creating beautiful buildings. Kaya hindi ko makita yung hindi ko ma-reconcile. Pero I knew that my father would kill me. Na sinumulan ko to, he prepared me for this and sabi ko, tapusin ko na lang and then let us see. So I graduated and then ganun pa rin yung nakikita ko around me. I was uninspired. And then basta marami nangyari and then I felt that I think I have to do architecture that will make the people participate. And then if you see around you, there's so many poor people. So I said I wanted to do something that would include them. I want to be more inclusive. And also, it has a lot to do with the friendships that I have built through the years. And with my friends, we kept on talking about this, that we wanted to do something that would really make a difference. I saw in the many developments in architecture, na ito yung gusto na talaga gawin. I had a chance to study in Barcelona, Spain, and it was mentioned also in the introduction. And there I saw that architecture is more than just the structure that we were taught to build. It has to go back to building relationships because architecture, more than structures, is about people. So like sabi ko, ikot nga ako, if it's about them, how do I create spaces that would respond to their needs? So it's not even about poverty, ganyan. Kasi you may be poor, pero if you know that it's about taking care of the environment and you clean the spaces or your environment, and then you would be able to create an architecture that is responsive and that is about them. So lahat na ng nakita ko is towards this end. So sabi ko, I will still continue because I have to pay the bills, diba? So I have to keep working ganyan. Pero napaka-sensitive ko dun sa architecture na pwedeng mag-include ng community. And so I hardly work with communities without taking in a social worker who is in our group, or maybe psychologists and anthropologists, ganyan, because it is really about all of us understanding ourselves in the process. So yon, medyo more or less yan yung idea ko.
Ayan. Mukhang inexplain na nga talaga ni architecture yung relationship-based initiative. So, ito parang, sabi ko sana maraming makarinig na mukhang itong recording ng ating session ay dapat ipadala sa College of Architecture. Mukhang ito po ay dapat nating bigyang diin. Alam niyo po, Attorney Dwight, architecture, isa pong paborito kong salita yung malasakit. Alam niyo po yun, yung malasakit, yung nasasaktan ka kaya hindi ka tumatahimik. Kaya nga meron kasing malasakit. Mukhang nagsimula na hindi lang mata ang nakabukas kay Architect Choi, kundi ang mata ng kanyang mga puso. Kaya yung mga viewers natin ngayon na nakikinig, kung recording man po ang inyong, yan po yung talagang palagi nating ipagdarasal sa ating mga anak, sa ating mga leaders. Nagsisimula pa lang tayo, napakarami na po nating natututunan kay Architect Choi. Teka po, Architect Choi, naalala ko, babalikan ko yung main building. Naalala mo po, wala pa pong kalsada. Di ba po may kalsada sa harapan ng main building dati? Tama po, di ba?
Oo, tama.
Wala na po kayo. Siguro po hindi na po kayo estudyante nang nag-decide po ang pamantasan na yun po ay isara. So meron pong iba na nag-react, bakit? Wala na, hindi na magagamit. But only po ako po isa po ako sa nag-react Bakit po sinara? Only then that we realized that it was such a very, very beautiful backdraft for all our activities. Na imagine po ninyo, hindi na po kailangan lagyan ng mga kung ano-anong design pa, lalagyan lang po ng stage at nandun po ang main building.
Yes, oo. At
Diba po,
saka,
ayan po yun
Oo, ang ngayon din kasi yung trend is to sana, if it's possible, to veer away from car-centric environments. Mas maganda yung naglalakad tayo, ganyan. Para, hindi puro kotse tayo. Di ba?
Opo, para po kasi yung sinasabi ninyo na nakinig po sa tao. Kasi parang mas ang tao po ang nabigyan ng pagkakataon dun no? Hindi parking spaces ng mga kotse. Kaya po nakaka-relate po ako, napakaganda po ng inyong sinabi. Ayan po, di ba?
But this is truly big work, no? It's a huge work na everything that we do has to be about building relationships, no? Pero natutuwa ako kasi there are many who respond to this and they believe in this thing also. Na kaya ngayon, ang feeling ko, hindi pwedeng ako lang mag-isa. Kaya meron ako ditong ipapakilala sa inyo. Nakasama ko, who's been very much involved with the work that I do. And I bring in, we call in Lyle. He's also an architect, a young architect that I work. Hi, Lyle.
Opo, welcome po to the show, Architect Lyle.
Yan, si Architect Lyle.
Invited also.
Welcome to the show, Architect. And of course, Architect Lyle is also Tomasian, di ba?
Yes. Yes, Archie.
Graduate 2014, right?
Wow.
Yes.
Pero alam mo, meron akong marites na sasabihin sa inyo. Architect Lyle, nung board exams, number 1 yan.
Yeah, actually po, na-research ko nga po. Nalito po ako kasi, si Architect Choi po ba? Kasi kanina po ko, sabi ko, nakita ko, naku. Sabi ko,
thank you.
Napaka-humble,
pero kasi din, parang sabi nga namin ni Lyle, every time na sabihin ko, Lyle, meron bang kinalaman yung pagka-number 1? Wala naman yun Sabi niya, kasi in the end, I still have to work. I still have to... and then architecture is so challenging. Lyle? So,
yeah, it's the work that we do kasi that speaks for ourselves.
Yes. And then Lyle, we met as faculty in Benil, the other school that we serve ganyan. And then he's actually the classmate of my son. Pero kung ni Lyle ang barkada.
Ang naging magbarkada yung...
Oo, ganyan. Kasi Lyle, and then our group, we believe kasi that the soul has no age. So we respect one another and we try to see where we are called, no? And we feel that ako personally, I have this inner compass telling me to go where I'm going now. And Lyle also is finding his way. Pero nakakatuwa, when you would maybe ask us a few questions here, may iba akong sagot kasi ang sagot ko yung parang pauwi na. Si Lyle naman yung parang paalis pa lang. Parang gano'n. Pero nag-meet kami. So it's so interesting and that's how I got Lyle into this.
Yan. Lyle, ano naman yung naka-inspire sa'yo to actually be involved in the initiative of Architect Choi?
Okay. It started kasi with a workshop talaga in school. It's in collaboration with a school in Spain. But before that, before the workshop, it's Global Summer School kasi tawag siya. Collaboration between Benilde and AYA, where Miss Choi got her master's. We've been talking every now and then after school, ganyan, talking about architecture direction, what is architecture, ganyan. Basta parang after school na na deep talks about architecture and life. So, we've been thinking about what can we do to do this, to push this agenda. Pero of course, we have work to do. Ganyan. And so, yung Global Summer School talaga yung naging parang namin laboratory wherein we can do architecture like this. So yun, dun parang na-inspire ako from Miss Choi and the way she talks and yung she's been talaga a social worker since bata siya. So yun, it's a question in my mind talaga before is how can we marry those two concepts, social work and architecture. So in concept, sinasabi ni Ms. Choi, we've been talking about it, pero parang vague pa siya eh, concept siya eh. So in Global Summer School, we were able to do it at least in a 2-week workshop for 2 years. Ano siya eh, para sa 2-week workshop siya, two ano siya, two iteration. So yung first is in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah, so very, very interesting, no? And of course, yung pagiging humble ni Architect Lyle, that kept him thinking more about what to learn, no? At well, of course, not to say that being number one is important. Siyempre, lagi naman tayo number one, kaya nasasabi natin yan, di ba? Especially sa architecture, lagi tayong
At
top.
Attorney Dwight, mas UST ata ang nag-ano dun eh, no? Nag-benefit kasi. Hindi,
So,
of course.
go.
Siyempre, sobra
Ah.
ang joy ng UST kapag may mga nagtatap, di ba? Very
Siyempre, go Oste pa rin tayo dyan. But of course, coming together, especially kanina nabanggit ni Architecture, no? Well, of course, gender gap, age gap, yung mga ganyan, and you're coming in as a group, and then yung direction nyo is quite challenging, especially dito sa ginagawa nyo. It involves the environment, the community. So, has it been an easy thing for you, or there were quite a lot of challenges, Architecture?
Siguro it would be good if I showed you a few images, no? Para ma-picture nyo lang kung ano yung dinatnan namin. I think I can talk about it from this point of view, no? That in our area, okay. In our area, there is an estero. So ito yung itsura nung area, and sobrang na-challenge yung mga young people. Nung tinanong namin mga estudyante, what would you like us to approach, to respond to sa mga problema dito? So there are a lot of problems like traffic, and then other things, no, that you see in society. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just in Manila. In other places also, you see this site, no, that water has basura in it. And this is close to where the slum areas are. Next slide, please. And when you see it, yan, so ganyan. So we also saw na mas madumi yung kapag yung tubig nasa likod nila. Yung mga nasa harap medyo nililinis pa. But all the same, it's the same body of water. And we called this place as ganyan, the place of the lost, the last, and the least. And this is an amalgam of terms in the gospel, no, as Jesus has called the poorest of the poor. And minsan pagkausap nga namin yung mga nandyan sa communities na yan, nakatingin sa'yo pero lagpasan yung tingin kasi we know already that they're thinking, pag niyayaya naman namin sila na magtrabaho together, ang iniisip nila, saan kaya nila kukunin yung next meal nila na ipapakain sa mga pamilya nila. So, hirap talaga tayo. So, parang ang team dyan sa areas na yan, survival. Next slide, please. So, ito yung mga estudyante. This is already the second year. Lyle was talking about the Global Summer School na it's really a lot about technology. Pero, we do not use CAD as much now. We have been using the program at that time in 2018-19, yung Rhino, no? Kasi ito yung marami siyang added features. It'd be fun to talk about AI, ganyan. Pero talagang differently wired yung mga bata. Mas mabilis sila natututo. And kami ni Lyle are a few of the faculty who understand what it means to use this, kasi it's able to measure also brilliance and the light and ganyan. Hindi lang basta mag-draw physically. And the students understood it. And so sila yung binigyan namin ng opportunity na mag-iterate ng possible na pwedeng gawin for the community. Next slide, please. So, eto yung nabuo namin. Kasi basically, we felt that the people, it's their problem talaga to clean up. Pero, hindi sila marunong mag-segregate. Hindi sila marunong intindihin what it means to take care of the environment. Kasi walang public spaces. They just meet along the road and that's how they talk. And ito yung naisip namin na tatlo yung team. Kain, laro, tambay. So sabi natin, bigyan natin sila ng space na gano'n. So ito yung ginawa ng mga bata using bamboo. And since it's it could be an informal structure, but it could be also a temporary structure. Kasi pag madali lang siyang linisin. And so we thought about this. And we have been, so sabi namin, 2019 natapos. So namin, it was not easy, pero even during the pandemic, we tried to continue the study. We'd like to share with you a 2-minute video lang, just for you to see how the experience was for us. 2 minutes.
The power of public spaces. How do you educate your people not to throw garbage into the creek? This has been cause of our desperation and inspiration. An open sewerage for Metro Manila, there are illegal settlements beside it, and they throw garbage into it. It runs through the area near our school, and for some years now, we have been studying how we can help in educating our people to respect the environment and throw their solid wastes properly. About 2 years ago, students and faculty contributed to research and design in finding a solution that will include the communities. Where there is no relationship, it is easy to experience animosity. With the environment, this is the case. We found 2 footbridges where people spend time hanging out, eating, and talking with their neighbors while their children play. So we designed a bamboo pavilion, which is an extension of the footbridges. The installation has been an initial test of the design. The reaction and involvement of the community has been priceless. Public spaces shared by the community will teach them to respect one another and share. With a continuous rapport with the community, we look forward to more positive responses to the relationships that are being built with one another and with the environment.
Wow. So, yun, precisely as I was saying, architecture, your desperation and inspiration really moved you and kept you going through, despite the challenges. I'm sure, Lyle, in your involvement, you've experienced the same, no? Nakita ko kanina, yung pagdala lang ng bamboo structure, kailangan itaas yung mga wires. Very unexpected challenges. But how about you? What were the challenges that challenged you, in the entire process as well?
I think the whole group talaga was challenged in a way that the kind of architecture that we do is different from what is taught in school eh. Kasi in school it's more of architecture na it's very prescriptive na okay, ito yung design namin and then you take it as it is. But in this case, it is the involvement of the community and how yung thinking about how the community will perceive and receive the architecture. So that's the challenge in changing the way we think about design and architecture. Paano ka ba magde-design for the people rather than designing for yourself and for kung ano maganda. So in this way, it was really that challenge in inculcating yung different mindset to number 1 dun sa workshop is for the students and number 2 is for the community. And it was a challenge then kasi talking to the community. So we had to pull in Arnold, which is our social worker, to teach us how to deal with these kinds of intricacies in doing architecture like this. So for me, personally, that was the biggest challenge in this project. Is that you were taught like this and then you have to do it another way.
Ayan, maganda. Alam mo kasi po, sa totoo lang, Attorney Dwight, no, and everyone here, palagi kasing paulit-ulit na sinasabi ni Father Rector, no? Kasi palagi ang take natin sa community, tayo yung may alam, tayo yung magdadala ng something sa kanila, pero actually, meron din tayong matututunan. I'm sure Architect Lai, Architect Choi, nung ginawa ninyo tong prosesong to, I'm sure ang mga nag-participate na estudyante, napakaraming natutunan. Can you tell us something about it? Ano yung mga na-comments nila after that beautiful experience?
Dahil si Hannah, she's from the UST. Sabi niya sa akin, I didn't imagine that architecture can be like this. Sabi niya, architect, kukunin ko lang yung lisensya ko, tapos usap tayo after. Sabi niya, I really want to go into this. I go, sure. Yun. There is really such parang an internal change. Ano, Lyle? How was it?
Yes. Yung group na yon talaga, it's dynamic in a way that, kasi yung first iteration is mostly Benilde students eh. And then dun sa second iteration, it was Benilde, UP, NU, Adamson, UST.
Yes, UST.
So, iba't ibang ano yun eh, iba't ibang perspective yon. So kaya yun nga yung sinabi ni Hannah, it's so different dealing with architecture like this. Especially that you're talking to a lot of people, not only to you among your peers na meron kayong certain language that
Yeah. Naghang yata si Architect Lyle, no? But listening to him, it's really collaboration of different thoughts and working on a common problem na
Yes.
tinitingnan.
Kaya
Yes.
nga, I love your topic. Ayan na siya. Oo.
Hello.
Oo. So, ito yung lugar, no? Again.
Luminis na.
Pero yan, burak ba? Tapos may mga, alam mo, sabi nila dati daw, nagsi-fish pa sila eh. Pero, oo, pero wala, ganyan, kulay green yung color niya.
Yes.
Yes. So there.
Yan. Meron pa pong next slide dyan? Architect Choi?
Wala na.
Yan,
We
okay.
can keep it. We can keep it because you might wanna ask me and nandun yung ano.
Yan, all right, all right. Ayan. Actually po, ako sa totoo lang po, kasi po for a long time, so ako nasa formation eh. Napakahalaga po kasi talaga nung where we provide an arena for students to really collaborate, di ba? Ito, lalo na to, challenging to, iba't ibang eskwelahan pa pala, no?
Yes.
So yung dynamics ng, alam nyo na, yung relationship, etc. And of course, aside from really solving the problem, napakaganda po niyan. We should, Attorney Dwight, dapat sa mga kung nasan man tayo ngayon, we should really be providing more and more of that. Aside from the classes inside the classroom, this arena of possible collaboration to solve a problem would really be important more than ever.
The world is changing, no? I don't know if you've heard of the word VUCA. Know that the world volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, no? With this, we have to be agile. How can we learn more about the world around us and how can we respond more? And this is like the aim. What we were gunning for, yun lang yung unang gusto namin gawin. Tapos lumaki na siya. Lumaki na siya. So
Yes.
I think we were being led also, no, Lyle?
Yeah. Yung different people involved in this parang led us to each other. There are other architects in the team. And we're like-minded people with different perspectives. So parang yun nga sabi ni Choy, we were led to this eh.
Correct. And so actually, Ma'am Telma, no, thinking about kung kanino natin papadala tong video na to, I think we should also send it to the Department of Housing and Urban Development kasi they're very much into developing ngayon yung mga sa Pasig River, no? Ang dami nilang ginagawang development dyan. But now, talking to Architect Choi and Architect Lyle, the importance of involving the communities around and talking about them and really asking them, ano ba talaga ang needs rin nila and how they think this should best be done. Di ba? Hindi yung sabi mo nga kanina, Ma'am Telma, no? We go there saying, ito ang kailangan nyo, itong gagawin natin, maganda to para sa inyo. Now it's the other way around, no? And we have to listen to them.
Yan, opo. Actually po, Attorney Dwight, ang bilis ng oras. Parang feeling ko, tinatansya ko parang kulang eh. Gusto ko pang mag-dwell dito sa topic na to eh. Pero Architect Choi, Architect Lyle, antayin nyo po kasi isasuggest ko po na magsalita din po kayo sa Simbahayan Office for Community Development. Mukhang iba pong forma ito at I think dapat pong marinig din po kayo ng ating mga coordinators, no? Talaga naman. Hindi pa nga tayo tapos ngayon, no? Meron na silang susunod na invitasyon.
May booking na.
Opo. Pero sige po, dito po sa ating initiative na to, tong Global Summer Camp nito, baka alam po meron pa po kayong gustong banggitin na mahalagang bagay before we move on to our next point to discuss po. Baka alam po meron pa po kayo para po nabanggit po natin. Ayan po. Yeah.
Okay na muna yan.
Talaga naman. Ako actually marami pa akong gustong tanongin eh. Pero interesado din ako dito sa next question natin eh. Sabi nga po nila, kung sa sports, merong Olympics. Pero sa architecture, sa arts, meron pong tinatawag na International Architecture pinractice ko to eh. Biennale di Venetia. Yan. So noon pong hindi po usually, ang ginagawa po kasi para po meron pong representatives, tama po ba Architectoy, from different countries, ang bawat country po will nominate somebody who will represent the country. And ang Philippines po sa architecture, ang grupo po nila noong 18th International Architecture Biennale de Venetia in November 2023. Ito pong grupo nila ang napili to represent the Philippines. Please tell us about this.
It's easier if I share again the slides.
Yan.
Kasi you have to know what the Biennale is about. The La Biennale started in 1895. Could you show the slides? La Biennale started in 1895. At nung una, ang architecture, 1990 lang siya sumali. So from 1895 to 1990. Yan, ito yung logo niya, tapos yun nga,
wala po, puro arts lang, tama po.
Arts, tapos cinema, dance, music, theater, tsaka pati historical archives. Iba kasi talagang mag-isip yung mga Europeans, pati yung mga archives ng history, they go back to it. In 1990, nakasama yung architecture. Next slide, please. At ang Philippines, kung 1990 nag-start, na-discover ni Senator Loren Legarda noong 2015, meron palang arts Biennale. So, art muna ng 2015. Noong 2016, merong architecture. So, hindi ko alam paano napili, pero at that time, it was Locsin and Associates. At dito, ang kanilang team, Muhon, na ibig sabihin ito yung monument, kapag sa mga lote, yan yung traces of an adolescent society, kung saan sinabi nila na ang Philippines daw, ang city natin, lalo na Manila, is adolescent. And that gave us much hope kasi yun yung findings nila. Kasi bata pa tayo. The other countries, meron silang nangyayari na 1200 pa lang, ganyan. Pero tayo, naging republic tayo, 1943, 1946 pala. Pero you have to think that there were tribes, ganyan. Pero mga bata pa talaga tayo hanggang where we are at now. So ito yung una. Tapos 2016 ito, no? Next slide, please. The city who had two navels, this was instead by Professor Edson Cabalfin, and he said, and he posed the question, tayo ba talaga ay nakalaya na? Ang two navels, kasi nanggaling to yung kay Nick Joaquin na The Woman Who Had Two Navels, na kinuha niya sa city, dalawa daw ang nakaka-apekto ng architecture at economics pala, and the life in the Philippines, which is like the post-colonialism and neoliberalism. Ngayon, in our current world, we still work yung mga BPOs kasi at that time eh. So 2018 ito, yun yung trend talaga where ginagawa mong araw yung gabi. Tapos yung landscape talaga naiiba kasi it has to cater to the workers in the night. Isang beses nga, punta ako ng umaga sa ATM, pagtingin ko, nagiinuman. Yung pala naisip ko, nga pala, kakalabas ang nila from work na gabi. So talagang naiba. Pero why are we like this? Kasi we are working for the West. Ganyan. And then neoliberalism, which is a difficult topic for us to talk about right now, but it has to do with pag wala kang pera, hindi ka kasali sa usapan. Parang ganyan. So kini-question niya. And it was an amazing exhibit also. Next slide. Ito naman yung kina Sudarshan Kadka at saka kay Alex Furunes when they worked with Enchanted Farm. At ito yung time ng pandemic. Tingin nyo, 2021. Kasi ang pinag-usapan nila dito ay how do we live together. Kaya ang kanilang pinropose structures of mutual support in order for us to survive whatever it is that is happening to us. In our case, at that time, it was the pandemic. There's a structure of mutual support that we can turn to as a way, as a methodology. Ika-4 lang po ako. Next na po slide. The Biennale of 2023 is about the laboratory of the future. That's Leslie Loco, and she's an African architect from Ghana based in Scotland. At si President Chuto, siya yung president ng La Biennale at that year. So sila yung nag-start nung La Biennale. Next slide, please. And so ito na yung opening nila. So with their tickets, ganyan. And there were about over 150 exhibits at the time. Kasali po tayo. Next slide, please. Ang naisip po naming title is Tripa de Galina, Gods of Estuary. And I really have to thank Patrick Flores, who was like our mentor. But together with this, there was the Philippine Arts Venice Biennale that si Lai will talk about more later. Pero yun yung nagtulong sa amin. I was found on the internet by an artist, a young artist from she's Filipina, but she was studying in Belgium, and she saw the project, and then she said, "Architecture, gusto mo mag-collaborate?" But we didn't really know each other. But she saw how strong this project was kasi it involved the community. And then sabi ko, ay, wala akong time. Sabi niya, no, we'll do it together. And so doon ako nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob, and we did it. So we are that official representation nung 2023. Next slide, please. So ito yung iteration namin. We were trying to see how do we improve on the first yung pavilion that we had in 2019. Pero dahil siya, exhibition siya, kailangan mabilis siyang gawin. So if you can see, there are hexagons. And the program that we used here is our 3D Rhino. And it's a powerful application kasi mabilis siya. May mga parameters siya, may slider siya. So, pwede siyang gumawa ng shapes para sa'yo. And this is AI, no? Working for you. So, but the idea came from us. So, ito yung ginawa. Tapos, kasi, pwede na siyang gawin dito, tapos isasalpak na lang siya pagdating doon. So, dahil exhibition siya, yun yung challenge din. Next slide, please. So, ito pa yung isa. Ang tawag namin dito at the time, croissant. Magkaharap na gano'n, so pwede upuan, ganyan. And then ito yung nakita niyo yung, di ba yung estero, doon namin plano ipatong. Next slide, please. So ito na yung lumabas. Tapos sa isip namin, maraming hexagons. Tapos sa gitna, doon yung mga tao uupo para doon sila makapag-usap. Nasa ibabaw yan ng estero basically, na isusupport ng dalawang bridges sa tabi. And it was a way for us to show how we would like to encourage dialogue and how architecture can build relationships and create dialogue through this space that the people can enjoy being there in their community. Tapos sabi nila, ang ganda po. Oo, para baka sakaling ma-inspire tayo na linisin. Biro mo nakaupo ka dyan, nakikita mo po basura. Hindi, ma-inspire ka na ayusin mo. Next slide, please. So ito yung space na binigay sa amin. It's something like roughly 20 by 20 meters yung size niya. Tapos ito nasa gitna, inilagay namin dyan. Nag-simulate kami ng estero sa ilalim. Meron sa ibabaw yung gitna nakikita nyo. It's a projection mapping of one whole day na kinunan namin yung mga tao dun sa estero. Pero niliitan namin to 10 minutes. Yung nakikita niyong boxes sa magkabilang tabi, doon sa dulo, tsaka ito, dito sa harap, ito yung history. Because we used to have a relationship with water and the environment. Meron tayong mga Badjao, meron tayo yung mga nakatira na ano. Pero ano nangyari? So we questioned it. Bakit nawala yung relationship sa water na ngayon tinatapunan na natin ng basura? And the way we define basura are things that you don't need anymore. So if you throw it to the water, you don't need the water. Is that true? So ito yung gusto namin question. Doon sa kabila, dito namin pinakita na mga ano din, alam mo, we got old windows, tapos doon namin pinroject. Yung old windows, kinuha sa mga tinastas na lumang bahay. Meron kasi dito mga nagbibenta. So, maganda siya. And then, diyan nakita nang nagkaroon ng sunog sa San Andres, kaya naglipatan diyan sa Estero, kaya naging slum area siya. So, history din siya to a certain extent, pero nandyan din yung mga pictures namin ng Global Summer School. So, with this exhibition, we were able to find the voice, and we want to continue the discourse that it is our relationship with one another and the relationship with nature, with the environment that has suffered. So we want to fix this by creating architecture that will build relationships and create dialogue. Next slide, please. So ito yung parametric ano kasi kailangan namin makita ano ba yung paano gagawin. Kasi po pagdating sa Italy, hindi kami pwede magtayo niyan. Yung mga Italianong maggagawa. They speak Italian, and of course, yung instructions namin. So sila yung magtatrabaho. Bibigay lang kami ng instructions. Ang ganda nung drawings namin at saka yung method of having built it. We built it in 2 weeks. 3 naman. Pero still, it's very fast considering na ano. So, architecture can be powerful this way. Next slide, please. So, ito na siya. And there were, I'm not so sure now kung ilan yung ano dyan, but for 6 months, do you know, Lal, how many visited?
I'm not sure, Miss.
Oo, pero mahirap
Exact figure.
magsalita. It was just that, you know, but the whole world saw it. And we are very proud na ganyan yan. So this is how it looks like. Next slide, please. This is the idea. The people can like sit around, and then alam nyo, for some reason, we sat there. When you sit, there's a calming effect on you. That you are parang cradled by the bamboo. And then, ito may projection sa taas. And then yun, nakikita nila from morning till dusk, yung change ng ano, makikita mo yung kung gaano yung relationship that was lost with water. And ano, parang meditative yung mood talaga. And it was strong for us and for the people who visited. So yun po.
Talagang pioneering ano and so it's a very new field likewise, kaya naman while you're doing your initiatives you have to keep learning then especially about community architecture, or what probably you can say also as sociological architecture. So how do you do this architect fund learning along the way and doing the initiatives at the same time? So how do you learn more about this thing that you do?
I think when we talk about dialogue, we often think that we talk. When we dialogue, we listen. We were asked already, paano yung community namin? Ano yung pwede namin gawin? No, listen to the community and ask them what they need. So sa amin, importante yon that we listen to them and then we will suggest, and then design thinking also teaches us that, no? So we understand the problem, we understand their needs, and then we will tell them, suggest to them, mag-iterate, no? Yun yung sinasabi. Then we ideate muna, so many ideas, and then we choose ideas, we iterate, then we make the prototype. In fact, Lyle and I would like to tell you that the pavilion has come home, and it's here at the port. We're going to build it, really. That will be the homecoming. It will be built on site. And I think it will be strong. We will invite you. Now si Lyle in charge. You know, iba yung work namin eh. As curator, I give the direction, ano? Pero si Lyle, he is the one who has to ground it, no? And do the architecture.
Yes. So dun sa actually yun yung parang pinaka-work namin na ginawa natin sa ano eh sa Biennale is to how would you concretize yung concept na yon and be able to share the vision na kasi we have limited time to do it. So kailangan the way we build the details of it is it's easily assembled and disassembled and pagbalik dito, we'll be able to build it back again. So parang yun yung mga details na kailangan namin gawin before. And now, going back and building it again, we have to do that all over again. And again, we have, getting it back here, we've done several na mga workshops then with the community together with Arnold. Questioning kung kailangan nyo ba to, gusto nyo ba to? Yung mga questions na ganon, is this what we need for the community, etc., etc., or what do we need for us, for the community? So those are the things that we have to consider. Building it back again, it may or may not be, may look like that. It may, para pwede namin siya revise depending on what the community says eh. So yun yung mga challenges na we will be facing now naman, moving forward with the project.
And so how does the Bamboo Bootcamp relate to all of this?
Okay. Kasi I got so interested in bamboo. Kasi Lyle and I, we have other stuff ganyan na. And then I said, I want to learn about bamboo. And then, so I went to that boot camp in Bukidnon and learned how to work with bamboo, go up, ganyan. And I really felt that when you work with bamboo, you work with the community. So sabi ko, sobrang aligned to. And then after that, I need to tell you also that when we design, we have learned that we have to design the experience. So meaning so ito na yung I'm moving to the next thing that I wanted to be able to do this well. So I did that experience design, and then we learned how to create excitement, and then also a lingering memory of whatever it is that we build. And then after that, I learned also about rammed earth. These things are not taught in school. So ang namin, ang aming hope, it's our hope, our desire, our aspiration, ganyan, na sana we would be able, because it seems like we're the only country in the Southeast that doesn't really have this culture building with bamboo. And ganda-ganda. Pero there are a lot of questions, no? Like we need to treat it, we need to try to see kung pati yung fire retardant, pwede. Yung mga maraming, pero if we don't get into it, if we don't enter into it, we'll never learn. And so this has opened for us a way to get deeper into architecture of the future. Because now, I mean, there's global climate change and the world is changing and we need to respond accordingly.
Ang galing na, Ma'am Telma.
Galing. Kasabi ko nga, parang nagka-come into fruition eh. Ito, sorry na tayo, magta-time is up tayo. Nung nangyari ba yung Global Summer School ninyo, naisip ninyo na makakarating yan sa Biennale?
No.
Diba? Grabe! Sabi ng tadhana, sabi ni Lord, hindi po pwedeng hanggang dito lang yan sa Pilipinas. Kailangan makita ni world yan. Diba?
Yes.
Alam niyo yung Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, IAC, ganon. They're from kasi Spain. They went to Italy and they saw the opening and they saw me and then I thanked them. Kita-kita kami. Tapos sabi nila, Lol, Choi, this is so good. This is so good. We're so happy for you. Kasi they were part of that. Sila kasi kasama namin, di ba?
Sa Global Summer School,
Actually, ako nakita ko na po sa 25 years ko sa mga initiatives ko. Talagang if it's really a good, authentic initiative, talagang yung magnet talaga ng the right people, the right opportunity, the right arena, darating talaga yan. Napakarami po. Grabe, ibang klaseng architecture na usapan ito. Pero isingit po natin, gusto rin po namin konting kwento naman. Architect Lyle, konting kwento naman about the Philippine Pavilion 2023.
Okay. So daming opportunities to explain yung project, di ba? We had projection maps, we had videos, meron maraming lines of with different languages, may Italian, Tagalog, and English explaining the project. But what really struck us is there are people who don't read na dadaan lang doon, tapos hindi papansinin, or minsan what struck us is they use the space the way it was intended to be. So parang when they go there, kikita nila yung bilog, upo sila doon, and they would converse not only with yung mga kasama nila but with other visitors as well. And minsan meron mga Filipinos doon that would explain the project to them. They would ask. Pero that's the purpose of the project. It is a public space So even meron nga nagsabi, parang sabi niya sa amin, this looks like an agora. It's a public space. So parang without explaining, without reading, without words, they are able to grasp what the space is. And that's yung inspiration namin when we had the studies in the Global Summer School is yung dalawang bridges on the side of on the estero, on top of the estero. They were using it as public space. So the lack of public space kasi is what inspired us to do this one When you see them dun sa dalawang bridge yun dun sa isang bridge may roof siya So they use it as their living area. They use it minsan bukas karinderya siya, bukas store siya. Minsan may mga sofa doon, tapos tatanungin namin, nasa yung sofa kahapon? Wala na, nandun na. So it's really a dynamic space wherein yung concept nga is laro kain tambay, do that in that strip of bridge. So yun yung naging inspiration for this one, is to create that public space that the community yearns for na sila na mismo gumawa ng space nila kasi hindi natin binibigyan. So what more doing this kind of space for them? So seeing that the visitors use it as it was intended is very inspiring in a way. When it goes back, hopefully the community receives it that way also.
Yeah.
Yes. And did you get any government support or ties with the government for your
Yes,
initiative?
actually, this was spearheaded by PAVB. It's a collaboration between NCCA, DFA, and the Office of Senator Lauren Legarda. So they supported us with this project. Sila yung sila talaga yung pumipili of who to send to the Biennale to represent us and fund the project.
Yeah, napakaganda. And talking about that, ano yung nakikita niyo yung dream niyo ngayon for this community architecture? How much you have accomplished, of course, you have accomplished so much, but what else needs to be done?
It has to be built again.
Yes. For
On
us,
top of-
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It has to be built. Kasi it's what the community wants also. So, in fact, when we ask them, gusto niyo ba to? Gusto namin. Kasi pag sinabi nila, wag na lang ho, we will go home. We
Yeah.
will respect that. The fact is, they want it. Meron pang resolution yung barangay, and we kept it. So, yun yung pinanghahawakan namin na, okay, we're going to build it. Ito pa maganda. We're building it. May mga tao kami kasi kailangan sa amin galing. Pero may 10 na taga-community na sino dito mga karpentero sa inyo, ganyan. So they will come. Isa pa, katulong din namin ang mga bata ng PUP kasi tinulungan kami, dun namin stage kasi yung para isi-set up namin. Tapos ang sabi sa amin nung eskwela, pwede ba yung mga bata din? Kasi they are the only school, I think, or basta strongly, they have a specialization course in bamboo construction. So they will help us build it also kasi kailangan ng mga lashing, ganyan. So I think it will be the whole community building this pavilion. And since it's going to be in the public space, makikita mo na without words, we would be able to express na this is bayanihan, modern day bayanihan.
True. Telma?
Yan, napakaganda po, no? Ito po, meron lang po kaming, syempre, ang dami po ninyong na-share sa amin, no, sa araw na to. But parang beauty pageant, We want you to complete this sentence, no? Of course, maraming initiative, innovations, no? So, I see, can you complete that sentence po? Para po sa inyong mga future plans, yung pong nakikita ninyo in the futures on innovations and initiatives? Architect Lyle, I see
Wait, sorry. In relation to project or sa amin lang?
project,
Okay,
initiatives,
okay. So
innovations.
I see this project as parang the start of a conversation of how we would take care of our environment, especially yung estero. We have a lot of estero in Manila, and hopefully this will be the start of that. This is guerrilla urbanism. So mahirap to do a lot of, alam niyo naman, the bureaucracy of our government. It's difficult to do things that's very different, eh. But we are blessed that we are being helped by different agencies in the government. So I see this project
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
ulit.
Architect Joy?
being replicated all over, not just Metro Manila, but hopefully in the Philippines.
Yeah, very
Hello.
nice.
Yeah, replicated, no?
Replicated a lot around, yeah, the Philippines and
Yeah,
Manila.
tama. Architect Choi, I see
I see hope floats in our people. Kasi I feel that we are what we are because we seem to have thrown in the towel. I mean, I think I see more activities that would encourage people working together. I see young people taking part kasi someone has started. I see, and we say this with much humility, we are gung-ho to do this as a service. So I see more people doing this because someone started.
Yes. And with that, I see a very bright future, not only for this field of architecture, but also, of course, for our communities. So it has been a most wonderful and well-spent afternoon with you both, architects. But before we end, kindly give us your message to our audience and future architects and builders as well that can help build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love. Architect Lyle?
First, thank you for being invited here to share our project bukod dun sa Biennale, but also the vision, the concept of building bridges, relationships in architecture. And thank you for this opportunity kasi it's a very difficult project in a way that it won't be funded unless it's seen. So if we are to be able to build this again, hopefully we will be able to do more projects like this.
Yeah. And Architect Choi?
Yes, like Lyle, I am very grateful not to have been invited here. I thank also the audience, who have been here listening to us, and actually knowing that you're out there inspires us also, because we really want to reach out to many of you. I thank also the Archie alumni, kasi because you are there. And then of course the whole Alumni Association of UST. Thank you so much for having us. I really feel that I cannot live my life just getting by. I have to I feel that I am led by this inner compass, and I want to I think of my 4 kids, and I think of my kids who are non-biological also, and there's a lot of them. I feel that I want to live my life with this passion, never stopping, that I'm here for the long haul until my time is up.
And said like a true Tomasian. Kaya naman,
Yes.
napakaganda
Ayun
talaga
po,
ng ating...
our great thanks for UST, for really rearing us to be the professionals that we are right now. I feel that strongly kahit saan mo ko dalhin.
Goste.
Goste.
Yeah, and so we are really very blessed to have you this afternoon, and we learned a lot, of course, from these initiatives, and we are truly so proud of you, Architect Choi, and of course, Architect Lyle. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Salamat.
Isa pong hug, hindi lang mula kay Father Rector, but mula po kay St. Thomas Aquinas. Talaga namang, competent, compassionate, committed. Talaga naman po. Kaya, uh, uh, your life is your message to us. Talaga naman po. Kaya pagdadasal po namin na dumami pa ang tulad ninyo. At ito pong recording po ng programang ito ay talaga naman pong ating ipakalat. Kaya po, imbued with God's unending grace, yun po yun. Yun eh. Yun, minsan di ba para nakakapagod, but because of God's grace and gustong-gusto ni Lord ang ginagawa ninyo, alam natin yan. And isa po kayong inspirasyon. At salamat po sa inyo pong pagdalo at na nakasama namin kayo ngayon kasi sa totoo lang sa dami po ng nangyayari ngayon. Ako po sa totoo lang ngayon alas 5 na. Syempre pagod na tayo pero sa tingin ko ngayon mas malakas ako. Mas malakas ako because of the inspiring sharings that we had this afternoon. Marami pong salamat. So before we end the show, we would like to thank our alumni, students, and friends who have faithfully watched, shared, and liked our Bridges episodes. We share with you the blessings of Bridges, and do continue to stay with us, like, share our show, and subscribe to our UST Tamashan Alumni Community YouTube channel and Facebook page. The past episodes of Bridges can be watched in our YouTube channel. Thank you all for joining us today.
Yes, and thank you, Ma'am Telma, for, of course, co-hosting this episode with me. Maraming salamat. And to everyone, do watch Bridges again on Tuesday for another exciting episode. Be with us at Bridges and let us build together bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love. Let us all stay cool despite the heat and stay hydrated as well. God bless us all. Mabuhay. Enjoy the rest of the evening.